All right, we're back. This is that section view we were looking at before, and there's that loft, second floor area. Um, so I think what I'd like to do next is put that dormer in there, I think, and then we'll get an idea of how much space we're going to have on that second floor. So let's go to the 3D view. And we can't really see any of those changes in here, so I'm going to show you another trick so that we can see this in 3D. We're going to duplicate this view again. So I'm going to right click on it, hit duplicate. And this view I'm going to rename as 3D section. And this time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to highlight that Saturn ring, right click, go to Orient View, sections, and pick the section we've been looking at. Now I can turn this around and I can see what's happening as I build this space. If I click on the view box here, these arrows appear and I can move that set of arrows back and forth so I can expand my view or see more elements within that space. So that's very useful to be able to do that so you can see what you're doing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to the second floor, and I'd like to go to my views, and I'm going to close all the hidden views, and then I'm going to reopen that section view. So then I'm going to tile them. So actually, I don't want the section, I want that 3D section view, don't I? There we go. So let's put those, we'll try tiling them again. Now I can see the 3D view over here while I'm doing things over here. Okay, and I'm going to be creating a dormer. Remember the handouts I gave you. You have the elevations that show you what's going on with this project. We are going to have a dormer here coming up, and that's where that 16 feet is that I was explaining that we wanted to make sure that lower wall lined up with. And then down below here is, this is what that dormer, it's a shed dormer. It's going to be shaped like from the right side view. So the first thing I have to do is create the walls. I already have one wall here, and what I'm going to do with that wall is I'm going to unpin it, I'm going to detach it. And I'm going to use the 3D view to take that wall and move it up to show you what we're going to do. Now this is going to get reattached to the roof, but you see what I'm going to be doing here is creating a wall on the other side here, right around where the 16-foot mark is. So let's expand that to where the 16 feet is. I think that's about where it is right there. Or maybe it's in a little bit further. So we're going to have another wall coming up here and then one wall coming across here. And according to the plans, we don't have that information in here, so we're going to have to make it up. We're going to have to see what we can do to figure out how that loft space is going to get designed. Okay, so I'm going to go to that second floor view, and just so to make it larger we can see what we're doing, I'm going to go to Architecture, Wall, and I want to pick the same wall that we were using on the first floor. And I want those walls, remember we have to work in a clockwise direction, so I want to start that wall from here and have it go to the edge of the corner of this wall over here. So let's see what that looks like in our 3D view. We'll tile the views again. And this is what we've got. So you see how this corner is not connecting properly? It doesn't seem like it's wrapping properly. The reason for that is we have two different wall heights. Okay, so why do we have two different wall heights? This wall is unconnected. So it's being drawn in at 20 feet starting from the second floor. So it's probably a lot taller than what we're seeing. Let's find out. Sure is. So that wall goes 20 feet up from the first floor level. I want that wall to be at a wall height that will be sufficient for headroom in that second floor. For now, I'm going to set it to 7 feet. Okay, so then that shows me where 7 feet is. And what that's going to help me out with is it's going to help me figure out what my roof pitch might need to be in order for us to hit this ridge and this wall. Okay, so I'm going to continue in my second floor view rather, there it is, and create a wall that goes from the corner of this wall. Let's go ahead and increase our detail level here so I can see what I'm doing. There's the outside edge of the stud. So I want to go back to my walls, and it should be the same wall. And because I'm going in a counterclockwise direction, if I go this way, I have to kind of start from over here, and I want to match the wall location that I had on the first floor. And remember, I can align all those things and make sure that they're correct. Now, what if you were to have drawn that wall in the wrong direction? What happens? Let's take a look. So let's say I draw that wall from here to here. Okay, so what we get is an inside-out wall. So we have the siding on this side, and we have the gypsum wall board on that side. If I click on that wall, however, you'll have an arrow that you can flip it. Where it flips is important. We want to make sure that it's flipping from the core face exterior. And then if you do it that way, it should flip into the correct position. As I said, we're gonna really analyze this and make sure that we place these walls in exactly the right spot so that they match up with what we need them to match up structurally. So that wall too I'm going to set to 7 feet. And this wall I can't set it to 7 feet because then that will make it 7 feet from this floor, not this one. So I want to align it so it's this wall and that wall have the same height. I can use the Align tool, and I can select the top of the wall by hitting the Tab key. There's the top of the wall surface, and then I can align that with it. Now I have those two walls aligned. Don't worry too much about this connection. We're going to fix that once we finalize all of these changes. All right, so what we've created now is a dormer walls that we're going to use to create a dormer in this roof. But the final thing that we have to add here is an actual roof, and then we can create a dormer opening, and we can create a join between the two roofs. So let's go back to our second floor, and I'm going to start off putting my roof. I'm going to hit architecture, and I'm going to put in a roof, and it's going to say second floor, but I actually want to set my base offset from this level to 7 feet because that's what I set my wall heights to. And then to create the roof, I'm going to use the Pick Walls tool, and it's going to give me the same overhangs that I had set when I made the main roof. So I'll pick those walls. Now here's the trick to making a dormer. I don't want this back edge of this roof profile to go right up against the roof yet. I want to extend it to there. So I'm going to just use this Draw Line tool and draw a line across and then make connections to all of those pink lines. So these two should be filleted together. These two should be put together. These two should be put together. I don't want a slope on this side, or this side, so I held down the Control key to select all three at once, and I'm going to turn off Define Slope. And then I'm going to assume that we're working with a very low pitch here, so I'm going to try a 312 pitch on that roof and then hit the green checkbox. Now this is what I want you to hold off on. Not yet. Let let's take a look at what happens, and then we will manually attach those walls to this roof because we're not even sure if we like this yet. Okay, so hit no to this. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now, what I want to find out is, will this roof intersect with this ridge properly? And I can only do that by joining these roofs together. This is how you join a roof together. So let me zoom in, make that 3D view a bit bigger. Under the Modify tab, you have Roof Join Unjoin tool here. We're going to pick that tool. You pick the roof that you want to join, and then the surface that you want to join it to. And this is a problem. Do you see what's happening here is that roof is only capable of joining if it intersects the other roof completely. This roof at a 312 pitch does not intersect this roof completely. So what I've got to do is I've got to either change the pitch of the roof, or I have to lower the roof location on the wall and lower the wall. I can lower this wall and still put in a ceiling at 7 feet or 7 feet 2 inches if I want to get that 7-foot finished floor to finished ceiling height, and just have this wall be a bit lower. So there would be just a slight slope to that ceiling on that side. Or the other option is I could select this main roof and I could change its pitch to a 12-12 pitch rather than a 10-12, and then I have no problem at all. Okay, and I think I like this solution the most. So I'm going to change this to 12-12. I know that changes our original sketches, but that's all right. Okay, so now we like the pitch. We like that this is hitting the roof where it's convenient. So the next step is for us to actually create this dormer. So now I'm going to take this roof here, or this wall rather, and I want to attach it to the main roof. I also want to attach it to this roof. Won't let us do that. So what's our other option? We're going to have to create a profile. So I'm going to detach it, detach all, and I'm going to select this wall, move it right up to the top here, and edit the profile. So my new profile for this wall here, because I can't attach it to the roof and edit the profile at the same time. I have to do one or the other. And you usually try to attach things, the walls to things first. And if that doesn't work, then you can try editing the profile. I'm going to use this Select Pick Lines tool, which will pick the bottom surface of that rafter and match the same plane that the wall is in. Now I don't want that to move away from the rafter, so I'm going to lock that. I'm going to pick this same surface and do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to pick this wall here, which should be aligned with the one down below. So that shouldn't be a problem. And I want this roof here, and I want that locked. So what should happen when we join all this stuff is I want to join this corner together. I want to join this corner together and this corner, and that creates the profile that we want for that wall, and I want to get rid of that line. Let's see if it will let us do that. That's perfect. Okay, now we'll deal with this problem here a little later on, where sometimes those little connections happen, and that will be something we deal with later. All right, so this wall over here we also want to attach to this roof. And we want the base of this wall here, attach base. Do we want the base of that wall attached there? No, we want to keep that right there. That's actually going to extend out to this edge here. So we'll do that in our second floor. So in our second floor, I want to take that wall and have that come right out to where the edge of the stairs are. Okay, so let's go back to that 3D section view, and we can see what's going on here. But if we look inside, or if I do this, then you can really see we don't have the opening for that dormer in the roof, in this main roof. So let's put that in there. So put that in there and then we're going to be golden. So I want to create a dormer for this, create an opening inside the roof to match this dormer size, and we do that under architecture, opening, and you've got a dormer tool right there. So we click on that dormer tool and you want to follow the instructions. The first thing is to pick the roof that you want to create the dormer in, and you see how everything grays out. Now we want to pick roof wall edges. Those would be the actual walls themselves. So there's one. See the pink line that appears? Here's the other. Let's maybe use that one to create it. Then we have this wall as well. We're going to have to do some cleaning up after, and this roof. So if you can see past everything here, let me change this to a hidden line so you can see it a little bit better. There are all of our pink lines. Just like everything else, we need to connect them all so we have nice clean corners. There we go. And then when we see nice clean corners, we can hit the check box and we are done. So let's go back to that shaded view, and we have ourselves a dormer. When we look inside, we can see out to that new dormer space that we've defined inside of the house. You know how to add windows, so you're going to go ahead and add the windows to that, and I will see you in the next video.